Hey, 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 hey. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Yes, because actually some of you are in US, other in Europe. I don't think we have so many people from Asia, but anyway, at least evening and afternoon, yes. Hello, people. Did I click the button that I always forget? Ah, no, I didn't. Let me click it now. Let me see if it's again messed up. Yes. Why the position of this thing is always relative to something else? I don't know. Why is never in the right place at the beginning? It's like if he's saving the position relative to something else. I don't know. I don't know, boys. Anyway, I'm here. I'm ready to do what we need to do. So continue to build our game because we want to see it finished and we want it to be the greatest game of all times. Well, probably will not be, but it's not a problem. We can dream about it. How are you today? Everyone is fine? Hello, Tony. Hello, Hula. Hello, Maui. Hello to the other people that are not saying hello, but they are still there. So I can give you an update of, let me go into the smaller face, which obviously is fucked up as well. Okay. Easy. No. I want to move this. This should be the smaller face, and it's big anyway. Okay. What I wanted to say, yes, I wanted to give an update a bit on the list of bugs that I'm trying to fix. So I managed to fix the. So yesterday we arrived kind of here, I guess, right? I managed to fit. No, we arrived here. So I managed to fix the plate armor. The plate armor was very, very, very simple problem. It's just that we swapped the legs and the hand textures. Okay, so just for me to swap them back, and everything started to work as expected. So was fairly easy. Hello, Marcelo, and so the one is fixed now. The animation of mining, I did it not fully, but I did it. The problem is that we don't have a great animation for mining, so that is one of the problems. But we have one animation that looks a bit like a guy mining, like this. Unfortunately, it's not that great because it looks like he's doing it, boom, with not with not a lot of passion, let's say. So he's doing it like, I don't know, I don't want to do this job. I don't. I know, but it's the only one that I found that swings, swings one hand only in a kind of a reasonable way. It looks like he really doesn't want to do this. But for now, we will stay with this one, okay? I don't have a lot of other possibilities. Oh, wait, I didn't disable the body tracking. And so my character is moving kind of in a weird way. Well, it's always moving in a weird way anyway, but okay, I think now should be better. That's probably the reason why it was also off. Yeah, because this way it moves a bit less up and down. Still a bit up and down. So when I move forward or backward, the avatar tends to go up and down, but it's okay. We can survive this. What I wanted to say? Yes, that we need a mining animation. I searched different places, but I couldn't really find a good mining animation. So for now we have this, and we will have to. For now, you will just throw the rock pick at at the mine, okay? You will just throw the rock pick like this at the mine saying, fuck you, give me some more. Fuck you, give me some more, you know? It's like this, but okay, we will potentially get a better one day. I already speed it up a bit because the original one was like this. I can show you the other one. The original one was like this. And I speed it up quite a bit. But if I go more than this, it looks even more silly. I tried, but we just need another animation. I was thinking to buy a motion capture suit, you know, the one that you can put on and then you can do all the moves and then you can put the animations in the game. The problem is that a professional one costs a lot of money, like 10,000. A reasonable one costs like 2,500 or 3,000. And still I don't know of the overall resulting quality, but you know, I had that crazy idea to buy one. And so we will finally be able to do all the animations, or at least I will be able to simulate myself all the animations, but you just need to use it. Yes, but they don't rent it. They don't rent it. I mean, they rent places where you can go and do your motion capture thingies, but they rent it to real companies, and so it's even more costly. There is one open source project that I was looking, which is called Choca Mockup. No, I think I told you already. There is a mockup open source short data, yeah, this thing, which they are building a kind of an open source software to do motion capture, and they are building, but they are still working on it, so it's not really fully functional. And another weird thing I was looking at is this thing. I don't know if you have seen it. It's like a revival of Second Life. Do you remember Second Life? The game where they started to sell properties in game, and so there were people buying, you know, virtual land for quite some money, and then using those land as their home, right? So these guys basically are doing the same. I think they are hoping that no one remembers the Second Life experience. But they are doing the same, with the difference that their idea is to sell another Earth planet to us, right? So basically what you can do, so they have like a Google map of everything, right? And the Google map, you can zoom it out as much as you want, so you can see the whole world, right? And then if you want, you can buy a piece of land, right? And maybe you may decide to buy, I don't know, the house that you already own, you know, or you may decide to buy something else, right? Let's go in Europe. Let's go in Paris. Okay. Wow, Paris is so high. I was thinking it was like here. Wow, Paris is so high. So you can go like in Paris, right? Notre Dame probably will be blocked. And if you want, if you zoom in enough, right, there are these, you know, small blocks that are popping up. And as you can see, all this part is completely already sold out. So there is a guy that bought all this piece, right? And at the moment, this piece is valued at $710. And if you want to buy it, you can make some offers, right? The point is that The point is that you are buying something that doesn't exist, right? So I mean, you are buying pieces of Paris, right? For example, here there is an Italian. You see, they bought all this piece for whatever reason. There is a Korean. There is a Korean that bought these 3 spots. And at the moment, there are no empty spots in Paris, I guess. Well, yes, there are some spots available. Like this guy, this guy bought the spots in the shape of a heart. Look at that. But okay, so if you want to buy this piece, at the moment is $5, which is not much, right? And or you can buy a bigger piece like this and spend $64. Now you may ask, what the hell I'm buying this for, right? What I'm buying this for? No one knows. No one knows because the developers of this thing said, we are going to use the land in the future for something. For a game or for a similar to Second Life or I don't know. And the owners of the land will be able to produce resources out of it. Right? But they didn't say exactly what will happen. But as you can see, there is so many people buying stuff. Like this guy spent $548 to buy this. Right? Now, if you want, you can go in places that are costing very, very little. So you can go, I don't know, here in Greenland, near to the North Pole, and you can decide to buy this. Right? Can you buy it? I don't know. I'm zooming in at a certain point. The problem is that the quality of the yeah, you can buy it. Let me see how much it costs. So if you buy something here, it costs $0.47, 1 square, right? What is the point? I don't know. But, you know, basically people are buying, hoping that the land will cost more, will grow in price, and so they will be able to resell it in the future, right? No, all the places are fake, Ulla. All the places are fake. They are selling you a copy of our world, a virtual copy of our world, okay? So you are not buying any land. You are buying a virtual copy of our world, right? So nothing is real. None of the land you are buying for, you speak of the fake buyers? Yeah, maybe there are some fake, maybe there is some of them that are buying just to show that people are buying. I don't know, just to inflate, you know, the hype. But I feel it's, on one side I feel it's very interesting, on the other side I feel it's completely stupid, you know. So we will see how it goes, you know. You can go here in the middle of the desert, right? For example, this one is $42. Why is $42? What is this place? $42. Did I catch Area 51 or what? I think I catched Area 51 or something. I don't know. But anyway, I find it funny. So this guy decided to do this, and people are starting to buy, and they don't even know what they are buying, you know. But okay, fine. Just wanted to let you know. So I don't know if I want to do these pieces. So today I think I'm gonna work on the compendium. Actually, we still have a few pieces that we want to do. By the way, I could draw on top of my head if I want. Look at this. I can draw on top of my head. Okay, sorry. We could do these things at the bottom. I can move myself a bit, like the unstick, the merge audio, but I'm not really very inspired to do those pieces. And so I think we are going to work on the compendium, right? Now, I don't remember. No, I kind of remember, but I don't have the exact idea of where we were in the compendium thingy. I think let me save this meanwhile. I think we had what? We had the pillars, we had the, what was this pillars thingy? Ah, it's pillars the game. Okay. I'm trying to remember where we were. Okay, I think we were here, right? Where we decided the different pieces that should go in the compendium, right? Do you know the technique of duck hunting? Leaving duck with chain for calling savage ducks. Yeah, it's something like that. But you know, I mean, that thing demonstrates that if there is demand, whatever it is, if there is demand, there is a price associated, even if the thing that you are selling does not exist. So as long as you can make enough hype on something, whatever it is, you can sell it, right? And people will buy it. It doesn't mean that they are necessarily stupid. It just means that they like hype and they like new things, right? Yes, one thing that we didn't decide, because in this, let me close this one. One thing that we didn't decide in the compendium, and let me send it to Paint. We decided the home page, and that's easy. But we didn't decide how to transition from the first page to the second page. I'm just opening them all because we need them all. So we said this one is the first page, okay? Then you click, for example, here, okay? You click on creatures and plants and minerals, right? But then we didn't say how you search for the creatures, because this idea that I had here is basically the view of one creature, right? But we first need a way to search for the creatures, or you know, or view all the creatures available. So this thing is not really working, right? It's not really working. So or we put this on this side, right? And then so all the text goes on this side, and on the left we have all the creatures, which is probably the easiest, right? So like we have a panel here, which with a kind of a scroll bar, right? With a kind of a scroll ballerinos. And here we have all the creatures that you know, right? Right? And then you see here the picture of the creature you selected, and you see the information. Or, hello somebody, welcome. Or we can put it on top. I don't know. We will not have infinite creatures. We will have I don't know, 50. I mean, it's not 1,000, right? And maybe at the beginning will be like 12, like now, or 20. I don't know. So I don't know if I prefer to have this panel on the left busy, or to have one drop down at the top, which becomes a bit busy, but like one drop down here that you can just okay, imagine is a drop down. Okay, imagine is a drop down. Where you select the current one, and then we can go back to having, you know, the habitat, the ecology this way and the rest this way, and so it becomes a bit more balanced, you know, between the two. Which one you prefer? I really don't know if I want a list. I think the drop down can be okay if it's easy enough to scroll. It will start to be a bit too many layers though, because you have this layer, which is the top, right, where you can go back. Then you have the layer of the creatures, plants and minerals, where you have to select. Then you have this other selection, and then you finally end up with the creature panel, okay, which would be like this one, right? Should we do it like this? Or maybe if we have only 3, maybe we can even do it like this. Even if selecting something on the right side is kind of weird. I mean, I think it doesn't feel very natural to select something on the left, to have then a result. I mean, sorry, selecting from the right to have then a result on the left. But this is probably the minimum space, you know, that we can get. Do you think a drop down will be annoying, or because obviously this drop down will then come down to here, right? Will temporarily come down to here when you click on it. You will select whatever creature, and then you will see it down here. I think I prefer to have one, you know, a full page for the creature, so you can read everything in a good way. Yeah, probably I prefer it this way. Because the other option is also to make another page in the middle, right? A page that is only dedicated to choosing the creatures. But I think there will become too many clicks back and forth, and I think it may become annoying. So I think we can go with this view. I think this view is not bad. I think this view is not bad. Habitat, ecology, combat, spoils, and history, right? History is 40 player races. Okay. Okay, I think this is good. Do we want to do a test of the UI for the location and people as well, and see how it looks, and for the factions and organizations, and see how it looks? Maybe yes. For rare items, I have no idea at the moment, because this one I really didn't think about it too much. For plants and minerals, I think we can have, yeah, but also for plants, and I think we have to do one screen for each, for everything, so that we know before I go in the database and I start to add fields and stuff. I think I want to know what we need, right? What we need to have. Okay, let me do something. Let me name them. Let me name them in a way that I can recognize them. Otherwise, it's becoming a bit hard. Okay. So Compendium 3, we will call it UI home. Okay. UI home. And Compendium 4, we will call it UI creatures, right? And then I want to make another one, which is a copy of this, which we will call UI plants. Okay. Which can be a copy. I copied it from the creature, so we can reuse a bit of the same concept. Right? Okay, so here basically we have, instead of having creature selected, we will have plant selected, right? That's the idea. And you will have plant selected, and you will have a drop down with some of the names. I don't know, do we have names? Yeah, we have some names for sure. Plants. I think we had a list of plants here, no? Or a list of mushrooms. Mushrooms go inside plants, right? I think so. I remember we had a flora page, no? There was the creatures one, I remember for sure, yes, is here. But I think there was also the one with the plants. No? Okay, anyway. Whatever. Whatever. Why there is plants inside of this? I remember we had a list, but I can take it from the database. Maybe it's easier. But it's just an example, okay? But I want to have some real examples. I remember a few mushrooms and few plants, but I don't remember the names actually. If we go under item categories, there should be, I don't know if there is a category plants or if there is a category, yeah, plants, there is a category plant. So everything that is in category 26 is a plant, right? Everything that is in category 26 is a plant. Fuck, but on the other database. Do I have the other item stats? Item stats, item stats, item stats. Okay, we don't have too many plants actually. We don't have too many, but we have these ones, okay? So these are some of the names. Night lantern, for example, okay? Okay, this is one of the plants. Now, what do we do? What do we do for plant. So what kind of information we want to put for the plant? Because for the plants will be much easier, right? So there will be a picture of the plant here. Now, myself, I cannot really draw, so I cannot do it, but I will try. Okay. And whatever. There is our beautiful plant, right? Now, there will be the 3D model of the plant, and that's easy. Which kind of information we want on the plants? Because obviously habitat, ecology, combat, spoils, and history doesn't make any sense here. So we want to have let's say that the habitat can be where it can be found, where you can find it. In terms of regions, yeah, the problem is that if we connect it to the regions, let me see one guide on the internet for plants. Like if I want to learn something about plants encyclopedia. Well, probably is inside the Wikipedia, right? Plants. What they are telling me about the plants? Like the philodendron. Genus name, light. Part sun, shade sun. What is light? I mean, if he stays in the light, okay. Plant type, house plant. Height, width, foliage color, special features. Yeah, I think that the color, like how to recognize it, but okay, anyway, if you have the picture, you know, you don't really need it because we will have the picture in the middle. So it's not that I have to say which kind of color he has. Philodendron. Let me search on Wikipedia. Let's see if some crazy people organize the plants on Wikipedia. Let me see if some crazy people organized a template for plants. Philodendron is a large genus of flowering plant family. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, because they have a family, but in our case, I don't think we will have a family. Growth habitat. Yes, exactly. Grow habit or habitat. Grow habit. Compared to the other genus, an extremely diverse array of growing method. The habitat. Primarily leaves. Cataphyls. Holy shit. Roots. Extra floral nectaries. There is so much stuff in this page for this freaking plant. It's insane. There's also some sexual stuff. So as soon as I say sexual, the number of viewers immediately goes up, you know? I have to stay on this a bit more, you know? So the viewers will grow immediately. Where females are ready to reproduce, so it tells you how is reproduced. But wow, look at how sexual they are. All of this. Look at that. It's insane. It's a very sexual plant. Fruits, hybridization, taxonomy, history, modern classification. Holy shit. What do we want to do about the plants? We want to grow the plants as well? If we want to add some farming capabilities so you can grow the plants, we can do it. We can grow plants. But I think that the plants will only have like 2 sections. I think one section of where to find it and one section of properties, right? So how you can, what you can use them for. So I think actually the plants will have only 2 sections. No? Do we need more than 2 sections? How can I call the habitat? Habitat will not be habitat, will be... Here is calling, but I don't think he's calling grow habit though. I mean, what I mean is where the plants can be found, right? Usually, in which climate and in which, close to a river. Yes, exactly. Habitat. Do you think that habitat works for plants as well? Not only for living. Plant habitat and adaptation. Advance and plant habitat. Yeah, it seems that habitat seems to be also associated to plants. So maybe we can call it the same then, which would be nice. So at least one thing will be the same between creatures and. So I think habitat we want to say. Yeah, exactly. Typical environment where you can find this creature. Well, in this case, would be this plant. If you can have the regions, would be nice. But I think the regions is a bit region may be a problem. If we start to mix regions with this, we may get in trouble when we move stuff around the world. You know, if we decide to move stuff, it may start to be complicated to keep in sync this database of descriptions and the actual place where we put them. So yeah, soil type. Yeah, soil type I think would be good. Like if it's something that grows only in the desert, right? Or something that grows only next to a river, or something that grows next to the rocks, or and north facing for us is a bit of an issue because we don't have a north, but we don't have a north. But we can say outward facing or inwards facing. Nutrition. Do we need a nutrition? Life cycle, reproduction? Because you see, ecology in theory is what they eat, but I would say most plants just eat water and get the sun. So very few plants are eating creatures like flies and other stuff, right? So reproduction, I think we don't care. Organization, it doesn't exist. Life cycle span, I don't know if it's really interesting to us. I mean, how much they live. I mean, it's just the plant. I don't think ecology we really need. I don't think ecology. I think we can kill ecology. Okay. So let me try with 2 levels of information and see where we go with that. So the other block will be the properties, right? So properties meaning what you can use them for. Now this one is pretty complex if you want to do it properly, because some of these plants are used in recipe, and they are part of crafting. So I don't know if I need to extract this information from crafting, or do you think the plant should also have something? I mean, some properties by themselves, like if you don't use it in a recipe but you just eat it as it is. Because remember, the plants means also fruits, okay? And means also mushrooms, and means also roots, right? So there can be stuff that you can just eat as it is, or with minimum cooking. So there can be. So I don't know if I want to have like a properties or something like that. And under properties, we can put whatever text we want, okay? So what happens if you eat it? We can put which recipes. The problem is that if we list the recipe here, again, we are duplicating the information with the crafting, and it may be confusing, but more than which recipes, I think we can say which properties they have, right? Or which, yeah, but basically it's what happens if you eat it, right? Which recipes, I don't know, we will think about it. But okay, I think we can go just with two things. So we go just with habitat and properties, okay? I think they will be enough for plants. Now, I don't know if we want to do something like that. When you have the knowledge of a plant, you can actually find it more easily. I'm thinking if it's easy for me to do it, but like for example, that the plants get somehow highlighted, you know, for you. So you see it shining, or you see it in a different color for a second because you know it, and so it's easier for you to see it. Or even more, then you can pick it up only if you know it. Like if you try to pick it up and you don't have the knowledge, it will just tell you something like, you don't know what to do with this, right? Or you don't know what is it, or you don't know what to do with this. That would be interesting, but I don't know if it starts to be annoying, you know? But okay, so I think the one for plants can be like this. I don't want to make it too complex. So it's basically two boxes. So two pieces of knowledge that you will have to learn with two. I think this will be two levels, right? I think this may be two levels. Now, if we are going to grow the plants, that is a completely different discussion, right? Because it means that we will be able to plant them, we will be able to grow them. So it becomes like Farmville. You know Farmville? I don't know. But anyway, that's an idea. Okay. So for plants, I think we are good. The third one is minerals. I think minerals will be pretty much the same. So let me save as minerals, right? What do we need? Any transparency will be lost. Yeah, there is no transparency. What do we need for what do we need to say for minerals? I think I will have the same yeah, the only problem of the drop down is that I will not be able to organize them in a tree, right? So I will not be able to organize them by group. So for example, we had some. We had no, this one was not in a tree. But like, for example, we may have grendel, you know, and inside we may have toxic grendel, okay, which is just a subspecies of the grendel creature. But I think, you know, if we have subspecies, I think we can just mention it in the habitat or in the main description, right? Okay. So here we will have our mineral. right? Here we will have our mineral. Boom. Easily done. We'll have our mineral, which will be also this one in 3D or with a picture, or will be drawn. Maybe it will be drawn. We have to think how much we want to draw this and how much we want to. I think having it 3D is simpler because we just take a picture from the game. But for example, minerals, we don't have it in 3D. We just have the ingot or the ore, right? We just have a picture of the ore. So I think the picture for this one will be a bit tough. I think we will have to create it. While for the flower, I can take the 3D of the flower. For the minerals, I think it would be a bit of a mess to make a picture. Right? So in terms of minerals, I don't know, we have whatever, lumium, or we have gold, or we have, right? Whatever we have. Maybe we can create you know, a fake one just to. So what do we want to say for the minerals? Because the habitat, I think, makes no sense, because the habitat, I mean, there is no habitat. I mean, a mineral can be anywhere, right? I mean, a vein of mineral can be pretty much everywhere in the world. Now, there are some places that may have more, but I mean, it's not like the plants, right? You can see that you can say he's next to a river, or he wants more sun, or he lives in the desert, or he lives high in the mountains. I mean, for a mineral, can be anywhere. So there is really no habitat, right? No habitat. Let me see what they say of the minerals. Quartz, Wikipedia. Quartz is not called quartz in English. What? Okay, this one. It is in English. So, because I was not finding it. So they tell you the composition, but really we don't care much about the composition, right? I mean, I don't think we care about this in the game. I don't think we care about the chemical formulas. Hello, sugars. You could post this up as diary note type of thing. Yes, this is part of the compendium, right? Which is kind of a journal that we are making in the game, where you learn about items in the game. And when you learn about it, yes, it goes into the journal, and you can read back his information. And we are deciding which kind of information we want there, right? What else do they tell you? They tell you about how to work with it. So if you can melt it, I think it should tell you how precious it is. So if you want to sell it, you know how much. Do you think you add more plants and minerals in the game? Yes, we will add a significant amount of plants. Like now we have like 12, and some of them, like bamboo, probably I don't even know if it exists for real, but yes, I want to have like 50 or so. So yes, we will add significant amount of plants, fruits, and roots and other stuff. Yes, absolutely. And the same for minerals, most likely, and hopefully the same for creatures. For creatures is a bit harder because we need to animate them and do everything. So crystal habit, they have a habit as well. Quartz belong to the trigonal crystal system. The ideal crystal shape is a six-shaped prism dominating six pyramid at the end. Yeah, there is more of how they are made. I think what we care is how hard is to extract them, you know? How hard is to extract a quartz, how to do it, and how you can use it for in our game, right? So I think these are kind of the things that we care about. And maybe what is the price? Because varieties, or we go by region and we say in this region you can find it. But again, I think is becomes kind of weird if we decide to say where we find minerals, because becomes a mess. No, maybe we can have known locations. Known location, I think, would be nice. So locations where you discovered it, right? So as soon as you go into a place, okay? You go into a place and you dig and you find the mineral. Then as soon as you find it, the location is getting added here, right? The problem is how to put it in a way, because I cannot put the coordinates, you know? The coordinates is not really interesting. The problem will be how to express the location, like, you know, to the east of the magic shop, or in the middle of the road between, but the problem is that our world is pretty big. But maybe we can name, because at the moment natural resources don't have a name. Maybe we can add a name or a description. At the moment we have the sector and we have the exact location, but obviously if I tell you this, it will tell you nothing, right? It's not very interesting to you. What the hell is this? I think it will be very interesting if you register the location. It'll be very, very nice. We just need to put maybe a name with a description, and I have to think about it, right? But this will be nice. This will be nice. Now the composition, I really don't know. Also the color, I really don't know. I mean, it's not something that the player can be interested in. I think the player could be interested in the overall value, right? I think the overall value can be interesting. So how much, you know, this is usually selling for. The problem is that, yes, we have a cost associated, but it may change by city. So in certain places, do we have a category for minerals or not? Beverage, raw material. I think it's under raw materials probably. 16. I think it's under raw materials. Raw materials. Can we make the category? Can we make the category bigger and name it raw materials? But But probably no, because it start to be no. Let's make, because it's become too much. It becomes a mess because you have the stock, you have the ingot. I think we are speaking only about the ore. So gold ore, cinnabar ore. Just the one that you can find, right? Just the one that you can find by mining, right? In some game you can find rare and valuable minerals or plants at random places. Yes, I think we can do that as well. Can do that as well. So these are basically our, right? Fishes. Fishes. Fishes will go under creatures. Fishes, I don't know if fishes we want to do, but fishes, do we want to put the fishes in the, no, I think it's too detailed. I don't think we care about the fishes because we don't do much with the fishes. I mean, we eat them, but it's not that they have special properties or something, right? But it's similar to the flowers though, but also the flowers is not that they have really incredible properties, but I think we can have a value, you know, a comparative value. And I think that if I go in item stats and I search for silver ore, I have a certain price associated to it, at least the basic price, right? There should be somewhere, I don't know where. Yeah, base price, like 160, okay? So there is the base price of this thing. So I think we can list the price. Do we want to list the price? I don't know. With minerals, I don't know exactly what to say, because while with the creatures and the plants we have some stuff, with the minerals, apart from the known locations and a bit of the description. Okay, we can have a description. Okay, description. We can have a description, which is fine. So, but the player will not be very interested into this. You know, the player will say, "Oh, thank you. You told me there is a purple gem with you know, whatever, and usually is found next to other, but you know, he doesn't really care. I mean, he doesn't care about this. He will never read it, or he will rarely read it. What he may be interested on is the value of this thing, and maybe if it can be turned into a gem, and which kind of gems. Because actually we have some of these gems or some of these ore that can be turned into something else, right? We can have a usage. We can have a usage and value. I think we can have three things. We can have a generic description. We can have a usage and value. And then we can have here the known locations. So if you discovered a mine, it will tell you where is the mine. I don't know if I want to say it in terms of directions, or if I want to say in terms of a small map. But a small map will be tougher for me to do. If it's just a name, I think it's easy. I think we may associate, yeah, I think like 3 pieces. like 3 pieces of information. Right? So the description where we can describe just the look, you know, how it looks, and maybe also how to mine it, but I think is pretty much the same for all the ore. You take a rock pick and you mine it. I mean, there is not much to describe, you know. So I think the description is how it looks. And then there is usage and value. And the usage is, for example, can be cut for precious gems, right? Can be melted to make tools or weapons, things like that, right? So I think that the usage and value, and what is the average price? Maybe we can merge it with the description. I don't know. And then the known locations, but this will be something automatic, okay? The known location is whenever you discover a new mine, a new entry is added to the codex. I think that is kind of interesting. Do you think that is relevant also for the plants? Or it becomes a mess? Like, you then have, because the problem, so the mines will be a relatively low number. The places where you can find flowers, I mean, can be basically everywhere in the world. So at the end, you will have a list of like 3 million places. And I don't think it's a good idea. No, I think let's do it only for the mines. Isn't there something about putting in weapon? What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. Now we can change this in the future, okay? So this is like a first round trying to understand, you know, how we want this done. And for me, trying to understand which kind of complexity we are speaking about, it means which kind of complexity in the database and in the functions that I have to create to make this real, right? Because it's nice to type something here, but then I need to make it in the game, and making it in the game is not that easy, I guess, right? Yes, if they can. Yeah, the problem is that the gem itself is not magical, is the magic that you put into it. But yeah, I think it can be inside usage and value. So if it can be, what you're saying is that we can add, can be magically enhanced, or right? Enchanted. Yeah, we have already the magical enchanting, right? So you can already enchant a gem and put it into a weapon, if I remember right. So it's part of crafting. Yeah, so I think 3 pieces can be okay. And so this is for creatures, plants, and minerals. Now. Now let's go to locations and people, okay? Which is very interesting. Location and people, I think, is very interesting. Location and people. lock, I will call it lock people, or location and people. Location and people. I'm doing a save as. Okay, so we can destroy it. So basically here, since we are in the main screen, right, I think we will have the main title here, which will be location and people. Right, and you can go back as usual to the other page. Now I don't think we will have a sub menu unless we want to go by region in a drop down. And this is when things start to be complex. Okay, here things start to be a bit complex, because regions, okay, we have regions, we have sectors. We could associate one sector to be one region. Now it's not always true, also because sectors are square. And so if you are in a corner of a square, you can basically visit 4 other regions in a second. I'm thinking if this one should be a 3, right? Should be a 3, or because the most important information the player wants to know about locations and people is, for example, the trainers, okay? Or the bankers, or the crafters, or whatever, right? Or the shoppers, right? So the people you can buy from, the merchants, or the significant people in the city, the real significant people, right? Yes, something like that. Yes, I want to do something that, yes, when you meet someone and ask him about his job, and he will tell you his job, and you know the location, is automatically going into your knowledge, right? Is automatically going into your knowledge. Now, what I'm thinking is, how can we organize this, right? I don't think we really care about the picture of the guy. I mean, can be nice, huh? Can be nice to have a picture of the guy, but it's not the most important thing. But anyway, could be fine. Could be fine to have a picture of the guy, or a picture of the location. But I'm thinking if should only be people, or should also be locations for real, because locations, again, here we want to do something that is useful to the player, okay, that is useful, so that he's going to open this to search something. If this becomes just a backlog of story, then it's not what I want to do. I want this to be opened for the people to search, right? So for example, they search for a creature vulnerability, or they search for a gem value, or they search for a plant usage, right? Or they search for a people, location, and job, right? So something that you can actually use in the game, that is valuable as a player. So I'm thinking that here is completely, Here is completely different. So I think that here the only thing that we want to know the trainers, right? And today we have the trainers only for the stats because we remove the trainers for the skills, right? So the trainers for the stats. Then we want to know the bankers and the storage right? Which usually is the same person, but is not always the case, I think, or not. Let me think. From the database, how do I say that someone is a banker? I have banker. I have a banker field. But do I have a storage field? No. So a banker is automatically also a storage, huh? I think so. I think a banker is automatically a storage. So it doesn't exist one that does only one of the two. Okay. And then we want to know the crafters, right? So the people that are, well, for sure the shops, right? The shops, like where can I buy this thing? Now the shops is kind of complex because the shop, what I do a list of all the items that can be bought. Fuck, that's kind of complex. I can list the categories. I can list the categories, so I can say this shop is buying this and selling that. But it starts to be complex, because if I put in, because we have a table which is merchant item categories. This is basically what each merchant is selling, right? So this player ID is an NPC, is selling and buying all this stuff, right? This NPC is selling and buying this other stuff, and so on, right? So everyone has his own list of categories. So do we want to list all the categories that they buy and sell? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Do you think it's too much, or do you think it's useful? I think it's useful because if you just say shop, you know, but you don't know what, I mean, is a mess. I think we should say shop with categories. So with the item categories that they can sell. And then I don't know if we want to have the notable people. The problem of notable people is basically everyone is notable. And so if we put in the notable people, it will become an impossible, I mean, we will put every NPC in the list and it will start to be confusing for the player. I mean, do you want to have a list of all the people that you meet? Like, but you know, the problem is that if we make a list of all the people that you meet with their description, right? What is the usage of that? You know, as a player, what is the usage of that? It's kind of useless. Buy, not only sell. Yes, buy and sell is the same because if an NPC is selling something, is automatically buying it as well. So the category is one for buy and sell. So is buying and selling at the same time. Yeah, the best will be a mini map. Okay, the best will be to have a mini map. The problem of the mini map is that a bit of a mess to do because we don't have a technology at the moment to make a mini map. So, but yes, if you could have a mini map, and I mean, we can make it with a static picture and just we can make it with a static picture and just a marker on where is the NPC. Yeah, like the guards, I mean, there is also just villagers, just people that are passing by. Just people that are passing by, and those people we don't really need to list. I mean, some you may need because you have a quest, and the quest is asking you to go in a specific location. Say, oh, go to Jefekra, right? Go to this guy and speak with him. And you don't remember where is it, right? And maybe he's even moving, but that's another problem. But shops are usually pretty much stationary, right? So shops tend to be in the same place. They may go to bed sometimes, but during the night, but usually they come back to work in the same place, and I think it's fairly easy. Now the problem is, how do we group? How do we group this? I think we need a map. There is no way. I think we need a map. We need a map. We need a map. There's no chance. I mean, even very, very high level, right? Even very, very high level, but we need a map. We could have fuck, we need a map. No, I'm thinking, but I think there is no other way, because whatever I do here, I mean, I can list them, okay? I can list them by skill. Like, you are searching agility training, right? And you will find them. But then, okay, when you have the name, then what do you do with the name? What do you do with the name? Nothing. I mean, it's a name, and you will never find them, right? So I think that location and people needs, okay, let's try to think about it, okay? Let's try to think about it as a map. Okay. The problem is that the world will expand quite a lot, and I think that the map will not really work, but it's kind of a mess. Okay, let's try for a second to think about it. Okay, so let's assume that we have a map, right, which is made in squares, right, which corresponds 1-to-1 with the tiles that we have. Yeah, the problem is that the tiles that we have, you know what we can do? You know what we can do? Maybe. You know what we can do? You know what we can do? So I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I'm thinking, okay? I'm just, at the moment, I'm just thinking of what I want to do. And at the moment, I don't know yet what I want to do. But let's imagine, okay? Fuck. But let's imagine that we have a map, right? That we have a map. Now, we need to have one per each level, right? But at the moment, we are only level 1, so I think that's easy. But let's imagine that we have a map under location and people, right? And this map, let me just make a copy, because I think I will destroy it and then I will need it. I will need it again. Okay, let's put a fresh copy down there. Okay, let's put a fresh copy down here. The lower the better. Okay, so let's assume that I have a map, and let's assume that on this map I decide up front the landmarks. Okay, so I decide that there is one landmark, right, which is called Ojaveda, right? And this landmark appears on the map only when you discover it. Never think it was so easy to find a scroll on Google? Yes, you can find anything. Anything on Google, easy. So basically the idea is that you discover, okay, you discover a new place by reaching it. Okay, we discover a new place by reaching it, but you need to reach a specific location. Okay, so you need to reach a specific location. It's not just that you enter in the square, you know, of Ojaveda and you discover Ojaveda. You have to go like in the center of the city. I mean, we can put, you know, by reaching a specific landmark, you know, a specific coordinate. So we will do it somehow, like we do today, the discovery of the 4 cities. Okay, when you discover this place goes into the map, right? It goes into the map. There are only a limited number of places on this map. There are the one that we predefine, right? So there will be Ojaveda, there will be the main city. I think I will never be able to do this. Okay, this in theory is the temple. But okay, whatever. Right? There will be Gog. There will be Gog. With his thingies. There will be Abnader. Abnader, I have no idea how to do it, but anyway. I will do it with the pterosaur. Okay. And so on. Now the problem is that actually we have, okay, trainers is kind of easy because you can, so the problem is, can we associate all of this stuff, you know, to certain locations, right? And do we want to expand the map? The new village is called Denver. Delver is the name. Delver is the name of the new village. Yeah, so exactly. So the point is, if you have a village like Delver, which is fairly small, right? It's fairly small. Do we want to put it on the map? And if we have a random, you know, dark wanderer at the bronze doors, right? I think I would never be able to do the bronze doors, but anyway. Okay, there is the bronze doors. If I have to if I have a shopper, I mean, if I have someone that actually sells stuff, right, but is in the middle of nowhere, how do we do it, right? So if there is a guy that is selling stuff here in the middle of nowhere, so he's a shopper, how do we do it? That's very tough, you know. We cannot, because for the city is easy. So I can, as soon as you discover the place, I can put on the map, you know, we can put on the map the thing. By the way, we already have kind of the map. Do we have the map? I think we have the map, no? The one that we use when you travel in the old game. Where is that? Where is the... It's under loading. I think it's under... I have no idea. I have no idea where is that. Maybe it's under backdrops. No. Under loading. No. Under maps. Isla East map. Ah, we had these maps, by the way. We can reuse these maps. Do you buy these maps at the moment? I don't remember. Do you buy these maps in game? Yeah, this is the one that we use to travel, right? When you travel, you see this map, and then you see some dots that you are going in a certain place, right? So basically, yes, right? But I don't remember the other maps. I think these maps you can buy. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can buy them. They are spawned when you wait. They are spawned when you are born. I remember we added the maps at a certain time. We added We added the maps to the game, but I don't remember if you can buy them. Wow, what is this effect? What was that effect? Ah, it was the staff. I don't remember. I think Jayos is selling some of that. I think this guy, I'm stuck. I think this guy is selling maps. You see? Idla East, Idla Main. Can I buy one? Okay, both 1 and 1. You see? So these are 2 maps that you buy, for example, right? And you have the... Who is this guy? It's Warren Doshi. So you can buy the maps and you can see the maps. The problem is that they are not interactive, right? But as you can see here, you can see the NPC. You can see Durok, Yonda, Jardet, Murago, you see? Tuo Jovera, Tuidla Plaza. So it's giving you a bit of information. I mean, it's not much, but it's something. And also it's giving you the position of like Amidison, Torian, Sharven, Percival, Armquest. So it's telling you basically the most important locations, right? In a very simple way, but it's telling you the most important location. So what I'm thinking is the same, but at a bigger level, at a bigger scale, right? The same at a bigger scale. The problem is, how can we make the map if like the guy doesn't know anything about the map? So it will be like a fully empty map, or it will not even show up. Then I need to think about it, because the best will be that when he's in the main city, he can only see the map of the city, and that's it. Yeah, but anyway, I think we need the map. There is no way, because if I try to do this just with text, you know, it will never work. It will never work because you will never understand where the hell it is that thing. So I need to do it in a way that is a map. But it's not very easy because it means that I need to have a map of the city, a map of the world, a map of the outdoors, and then there will be, because, you know, for example, this one is one map, this one is another map, this one is another map, this one is another map, but then, and this one is another map, and I can create them, right? And I can give you an item similar to this one, which, by the way, let me take a screenshot. I can give you an item which is similar to this. So basically you click here and he expands into this, okay? That is kind of doable. He expands into that. And then And then if you discover the trainer or if you discover someone, you know, the map gets populated with their names. So this means that I need to have a coordinate. No, well, not a coordinate. I need to associate your knowledge, right? I need to associate your knowledge. So I need to do. So I need to do. I need to do what you discovered. So you can discover. You can discover a map. You can discover a trainer, a banker, a shop. So here they should also be. So here we can say that you can discover a map. Discover a map being this starts to be a bit too complex though, because I can discover a location inside a big map, and this location for me is easy. Like if I do, you discover Idla, you discover Ojaveda, I can put it on the big map. Okay, so only when you discover it, I can add this icon to the map and you will see it. Okay, and that is kind of easy for me to do if we stay at this level. But then if we go in the specific map, which is this one, the point is, first, how do you get it? And I think that how you do get it is probably buying it at a local shop, and I think that's okay. So the location on the big map, you discover it. The location, the map of one place, you buy it. Does it make sense or no? So the location, so let's call it location. Let's call it location on main map. Okay. So location on the main map, you discover it by reaching it. So you reach the bronze door and a bronze door icon appears here. You discover the bronze doors, the Gugronted, and the Gugronted appears on the map. Okay, so this location is discovered by this. But then inside one location, right? Inside one location, we may have multiple maps that you can anyway buy, right? For example, this one. And I think that you can buy the map and then you discover, wait, let's do this. Okay, location, right? You discover a new place by reach a new location by decision specific landmark coordinates. When discovered, it goes into the main map. Let's call it main map or world map. Let's call it world map or level map, because actually it will be the map of the level. Right? Level meaning the dome, right? The world is much, much bigger, yes. Do we have a war map? Yes. I mean, somehow, not fully detailed, but yes. Well, first of all, you have all the levels, right? In all the levels of Iliacum, and we are all in the first one. But the first one, we are just, this size is just 2 sectors of the first level. So out of 8 or 9. So yes. What I wanted to say, yes, so the location, you discover it. Then then there can be a map. There can be a map of the location. The problem is that if we say map of the location, you buy it. Okay, let's say that you have to buy it. Okay, you have to buy it. So there will be places without a map, or there will be places that you can buy a map only by someone that knows that place. And so you, okay, so you, like for example the Death Realm, I don't know if you can buy a map. Okay, probably not. So the map of the location, right? The map of the location is this one. You buy it. Then when you meet, so when you meet one of these guys, so when you meet one of these guys and you ask them about their job, I don't know, we will find a way to trigger it. I think the way to trigger it is to discover what they sell, or yes, look at what they sell or something like that. Then they will appear on the map. They will appear on the map. They will appear on the map. Yeah, the problem is that if they appear on the map, just with the name will not be very useful. But I think we can have... It's a bit of a... This thing is a bit of a mess. Huh? This thing is a project into the project. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. I think I don't need this anymore. So when you meet one of these things, so from here, you know, you go there, right? You go there. From here you go here, right? When you meet one of them, will be very nice, right? Will be very nice if one, they go into the map, and that's fine, right? They go into the map. But second is that you are able somehow to filter by this, right? No, I was very aware of the fact that making the compendium was complex. But I mean, at the moment, I'm just brainstorming, you know? At the moment, I'm just brainstorming. Doesn't mean that we do all of this, okay? I'm just trying to think what I want. And you can suggest, okay? You can suggest whatever you want, but I'm just thinking. So on the specific map that you bought, and I would say you need to have. The problem is that if you don't have it, then where do we place these people? We just put them on a list, or because let's imagine that we are here, right, in Idla East, and let's imagine that we have a list of names. Right? But I don't think it should be by name. I think it should be by profession. So it should be the opposite, you know? Should be the opposite. So you're not interested in the fact that this guy is named Durok. No one cares about it. What we care is if he's selling something, right? So the point is that I want that guy, I want this thing to be expendable, and inside trainer, then I will have Durok, which is telling me, I don't know, he's training endurance, right? And then as banker and storage, I would say Jayos. Okay, maybe it's not. I don't think it is, but is it? I can just right click on him. No, he's not a banker for sure. No, he's not a banker, but he's a trainer, for example. What is training? I don't know what he's training. He's training nothing. Okay, GG. But anyway, and now here the complexity is that when I have Jayos right, I can say no, banker has no information. Banker has no information. But if I find Jardet, for example, and let's assume that he's selling something, right? So here I want to see that he's selling, I don't know, plants, right? So here I want to see the categories that he's selling, and then yes, I want to see him on the map, right? So like when I click here, I see him on the map, and vice versa. When I click here, maybe this one gets highlighted, right? So what I'm thinking is that this can be a screen, you know, this can be this thing here, like this, can be a screen, you know. So you have the big map, which at the beginning is fully empty. Well, no, it's not fully empty because you have for sure the main city where you are born or where you start. Actually, you will start in the stone labyrinths, so that's a good point. So actually you will start around here somewhere, and you will reach this area first, and so you will discover this area, and the map will continue above, right? So here will be the labyrinths. I don't know if you want to have a map for the labyrinths, probably not. Probably not, but probably not. But anyway, this can be a location, right? This can be a location on the map, which is the stone labyrinths. And so you will start here and then reach the bronze doors, which is another map, and you will see this on a, so at the beginning, right, you will see only this piece, and you will not see any other locations. Then as soon as you discover those locations, they will appear, and then you will be able to click, right, to click on one of them, and if you have encountered any of these people will be listed. If you also have the map, they will be also displayed on the map, right? I think it is how I want to do it. Do you agree or disagree? When you meet one of the following, they will be added to the compendium in the location. Right? In the location. I think we need to give names to this thing. I think this will be like, or we call it location on the main map, or we call it main location, but so if you have the map, right? If you have the map of that location, you will also see the NPC on the map, right? If you own the map, it will go on the map. If you don't have the map, it will not go on the map. Okay? Which I think is kind of a compromise, you know, between having a mini-map, having an automatic mini-map, which I really don't like too much from the role-playing perspective, and not having anything, right? So it's a kind of a middle ground between the two. And I think the fact it stays in the compendium, I think is nice. Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's okay to stay, because the other way to do it will be that it stays like in your inventory, you know, so that like you are actually opening the map. The problem is that, you know, this item, you cannot have a million of these items, right? So I think that these items, as soon as you buy them, instead of being a physical item like this that you can drop, this thing will just go automatically into your compendium, right? Which is probably a better idea. Are you happy about this or not? Do you have any feedback, guys? Do you have any feedback on this? Because it's a fairly important, I don't know, first question, do you understand the way I want to do it? Is it kind of clear for you? What is my idea? And if yes, do you have any feedback on this? Nope, what? Nope, you don't have feedback, or nope, you don't understand how I want to do it. You didn't understand? Okay, I can explain it again. So the idea is this. So imagine you are in the game, okay? You are in the game. Now, this is the old game, but it's the same. You are in the game, okay? And you start in a specific location, right? Whatever. Let's imagine there is this city, okay? So when you go to your compendium, this city will be present, right? So this means that, let me open a clean one. This means that in your compendium, right, you will see only one city. You will see nothing else. You will only see one city with, I don't know, its main symbol and whatever, right? Which is here on the map. You will see nothing else. So you will just see that, right? but you will be able to click it, right? So let's say that you click it. When you click it, you will get a screen. You will get a screen, which actually, wait, I can take it from here because it's already made, right? You will get a screen, which is this one, right? Which at the beginning will be empty. So you will have no entries and nothing of this. And it will say something, you don't know this city, okay? You don't know this city. You don't have a map for it. You can search a map for it. You can search a map for it. You don't know any NPC or any people. And you don't know any people. Okay, so at the beginning will just be like this, right? So you see the map, you click on it, you see a screen which is basically empty. Then you start to go around, right? You start to go around and you start to speak with people. So like you will speak with this guy, okay? Speak with this guy. Fuck, why the camera? Why my camera is like, okay. You speak with this guy and you ask him, I don't know, tell me about you or whatever, right? And he will tell you, oh, I'm this guy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and such, right? So at that point, if this guy is in one of the three categories that we care for, so meaning that he's a trainer, is a banker, or is a shopper, not anyone else, but if he's in one of these three categories, it will get automatically added to this list, right? So you will not see anymore an empty list, but you will start to see divided by type, right? Trainer, banker, shopper, you know, the names of the people. But unfortunately, you don't have a map. So it will say you don't own the map of this location, right? Or something like that. Then you will go into a shop, right? And find or buy, maybe you will find it in a chest, I don't know. But let's say that you will go in a place and find the map, right? And buy the map. When you will finally buy the map, right? The map will appear here. And at this point, the puzzle will be completed. So you will be able to click on one of these guys and see where is his location. Go back to the main map, you know, and go back to the submap. Then if you walk outside of the city, and you go far away, you will discover another location, and so another location will be added to your map, right? And it will be exactly the same. This one also will have a sub map with people and such, right? So basically, this is what it will be. Understand? I think this way is a kind of a, you know, is a kind of a middle ground between having no maps and having the automatic mini map with all the NPC written down automatically. That sometimes is even too much. And I think that RP wise I like it because you have to buy the maps. And you need to meet the people to actually know who they are and what they do. And okay, the question is, do you have any feedback on that? Do you think we should do it this way, or do you think we should do it another way? Hula is saying, I understand, but I think the game map has never been very useful. Well, the in-game map has never been very useful because they have never been there. Wouldn't that be too much work? Yeah, kind of is complex, yes. Because if you look at it from the database perspective, we will need to associate places, right? Places to the fact that you actually reached that place. So we will have to associate that. Then we will need to associate one location to a number of submaps, because potentially it can also be more than one, right? And then we will need to associate NPC, only the relevant NPC, to a location on the map. And then we will need to have like a trigger inside the dialogues of the NPC that is putting him in this list. Or we do it automatically, like every time you click on buy and sell, which can also be fine. I think we can do it automatically. So so if you reach the NPC, right? If you reach the NPC and you right click on him, right? So if you reach it, right click and speak or do something, at this point it will be automatically be added, right? So that's probably the easiest way for me to do it. So that as soon as you click on, well, if you click on speak, I think you can get the name. But if you click on train, or if you click on bank, but I think we can do it automatically. I mean, we can, as soon as you right click on him and speak to him at least one time, I think we can add all the information of the NPC. I think it would be easier, because otherwise if I ask you, to click on everything, to add all the different pieces, you will become crazy. Because actually the other way would be to say, oh, if this NPC is a trainer, you have to click on train, right, to actually add him as a trainer. If he's a banker, you have to add, so imagine if we go to Arnquest, which is a banker and a trainer, I guess. If we go here, right, this NPC, you see there are multiple icons, right? Start personal banking, start storage, start buy and sell. But I think it would be very annoying if you meet the NPC, you see the icons, but it doesn't get added just because you didn't click on it. I think that would be super annoying. So probably it's better that as soon as you interact with the NPC in any way, just by opening this context menu, so that I know that you are next to him, the NPC goes into your list, right? I don't really like it, in the sense that it's a bit cheating, right? So you really didn't ask anything to this guy, and you automatically learn what is training, what is selling. You didn't even open, his selling window, and you automatically get the list of categories in here. That annoys me a bit. I would like at least that you open this window and you see what is sell. Well, I think at least opening this window will be nice. At least opening this window. Also because you know what? Certain NPC do not allow you to bank or storage or train if you are not in favor, right, to them. So if your faction is too low. And so if we do it automatically, I think we may put in the list something that is not a real banker for you, for your character, right? I don't know. I have to tweak the concept a bit. Okay, so I will think a bit about it. But I think that the basics is here. Okay, the basics. I think these 3 steps. The 3 steps are: step number 1, okay, is this one. So it's the big map that is basically done automatically. So you have nothing to do. You just need to reach the place, and when you reach it, you automatically get an icon in the big map of where is that place. Then the second piece is the fact that when you meet an NPC, right? When you meet an NPC, is getting added to your list of the NPC that you know. And then the third piece, right? The third piece is the map of the location. Is the map of the location that you buy it, and is this piece, right? So this one actually doesn't exist. Is a kind of a duplication, right? So that is point number 1. Maybe we can put it here. Point number 1. Point number 2, meeting the NPC. Point number 3, getting the map so that you also see the NPC on the map, right? So I think that is the sequence. I think it's a solid sequence. I don't know for me how complex it would be to do this. Maybe too much, but I don't know. I think it's a good plan. I think I like it. So in terms of resources, we will need the drawings of the maps. So these maps will have to be drawn somehow. And the locations will have to be drawn as separate icons that then appear as needed. And the same we will have to do for these maps. These maps will have to be drawn, and yes, these maps will have to be drawn, and the NPC needs to have a coordinate also on this map. Okay, so they need to have, so basically we need to have on the NPC a coordinate for them for the submap. So they need to know where they are. So I think I can add a new table for this. I can add a new database table. I don't want to mess up with the characters table, because the characters table is pretty big. And yeah. So basically the idea now, okay, let's say that this one is done, okay? The idea is to go through all the capabilities that we need, and then trying to understand what kind of changes to the code and to the database we need to do. But I think it's very important to have the big picture first, right? Because if I start to implement a piece and then I discover I need something else, I have to go back, and it's kind of annoying. Hello, Rwanda. But my main objective is to have something that is useful in game. Okay, something that you go because you don't remember, like you are here in the middle of the desert. Okay, so you are here in the middle of the desert. The only thing that you know is that you are close to Ojaveda, and you know that you want to sell a specific weapon, right? And you don't remember if in Ojaveda someone is selling that, is buying that stuff. Or not. Well, okay, in the main city pretty much everyone is selling everything, but you don't know. And so you open your compendium, you click on this city, You look at the people that you met and you say, oh yes, there is a guy in this place, I can go and reach it. Do I want to go, yes or no, right? So that will be like the sequence that the player will follow in the game. And I think that this is also adding a bit to the lore, you know, to the lore of the game. At the moment, there is really no map of the world, and apart from the one that I shown you before when you were traveling, but that is not really too great. Now, doesn't mean that we have to do this now, okay? So maybe we can do this in 1 year from now, I don't know. Doesn't mean that we have to develop it immediately, but at least I want to know what we can put in the compendium and how does it look. Okay. So we did it, we did this piece. We did this piece. Now I want to do what I want to do. Rare weapons. Rare weapons, and I have no idea what I want to put there. Wait a second, where am I? Why we close this one? Okay, so we have a plan for creatures and plants and minerals. We have a plan for locations and people. We should do factions and organization and render special items. Okay. Which one we want to do first? I think I want to do factions and organizations, which is definitely easier. Okay, factions and organizations. Factions and organizations. Let me save this. Factions and organizations. So we already have in-game today, I mean in the new game, in Unreal, we have a screen for your standing in factions and organizations, right? So we already have that. So the important part of this is that it should not be a repetition. So it should not be a repetition of the screen that tells you what is your standing, because what is your standing is already another screen, right? Now we may decide to merge the two. There is a good point, huh? It is a good point. How do we want to do this? Do we want to merge? Do we want to move the faction screen to the compendium? Do we want to move the faction screen to the compendium? I don't know. Yes, Warframe is anyway something that I was looking at for the compendium, because they have a good one. So it's one of the cases that we have looked at. So today we have a screen that I will show you in a second. Which is still not very nice, unfortunately, because we miss a bit of icons and stuff. But if we go in the skills window, which is this one, right? If we go in the skills window, there is also a box for factions, which actually is a bit of misplaced because all of those are skills and stats, and factions is a bit of an addition in this list, and also is looking very different. So all these ones are looking the same. So you have the ability, and you have an icon, you know, at the specific level when you have an ability, and you can drag the ability to your quick bar, and you can execute this ability, right? While factions is kind of different. Factions is basically a list of all the possible factions and what is your standing. What is your standing for that faction, right? Now this is the dummy database, so he has dummy data. But if you click, so you see which levels you reach. So for example, here you reach the level 1 in the notoriety of that particular faction. So level 1 is done, you achieved it. And level 2, you are working on it. So you are 10 out of 30. I don't know why the progress bar is here. Yes, because it starts from 10 to 30. I don't remember. I don't know why the bar is here in the middle. Is here. It should be like 130 here, but anyway. And you see, for example, if this faction is giving you any benefits, if it's giving you a title, if it's giving you any emblems or stuff that you can put on your robes, you know, thanks to this faction level. Now, this is all very in-game related stuff, right? Now, my idea for factions was to describe, but I don't know if I want to do it like this. Maybe I can merge this screen with the other one, you know, because factions, what I want to put in this screen more that is already on the other screen, that's the question. What I want to put in this screen in addition to the other one. I don't remember what was my reasoning on this one. Did we type anything on this anywhere? No, we didn't say anything on factions. What can we have here, boys? Because what we can have, okay, we can have the symbol of the faction, easy, okay? And you can go and select the different factions, and you can have, you know, the different descriptions, and now you select this one, which is the King Edge, and you select it and you get this description, right? The problem is that you are already getting it like here, right? You're already getting it like here, so this will be a complete duplication if I do it this way. So or I move this screen there, or I think will be kind of duplication. I don't know, I'm a bit lost on factions and organizations. I think I should just copy this. I should just move this screen there. The problem if I move this screen there, okay, let's assume for a second I'm moving this, right? I'm moving this to the compendium, right? I'm moving this to the compendium. The problem is what? The problem is that this one is giving you progression information, because this is a progression bar, right? This is giving you progression information on your faction. So it's a really in-game thing, right? While maybe the rest of the compendium is just giving you lore and generic information on stuff. So I don't know if people will never find it. Right? I have the feeling that if someone will never click on the compendium, they will never find that they are progressing in their factions for merchants, and so that they get some benefits, and they will never understand what is going on, right? Why maybe they get a different price. Yeah, that's a big risk, huh? That's a big risk. That's a big risk. That's a big risk. One thing that we could have, we could have a better description of the organization in terms of different levels. So we could associate, right? If you want to do it, let me brainstorm a bit, okay? I think we can have, where is the, why I'm closing all the windows all the time? So if I go back to the creatures, right? And I take just this piece because I need it, but now I close it. I could have a number, right? I could have a number of information associated to the faction, which are actually depending on my rank. So the more I go up in a rank in a certain faction, the more I know about that particular faction, right? And these pieces of knowledge can be notable people, can be locations where they meet, or locations where they gather, you know, locations to meet or to find those people. Can be lore, I mean generic lore about the faction. So you can discover, this becomes like a mini collection again, okay? So this becomes like a mini collection of pieces of information that you get on the faction. And this one, I think it kind of makes sense that it stays on the compendium, because it's more complementary, right, than being a skill or so. Yeah, so maybe we can do it this way. Now the question will be, for example, if you discover pieces of notable people, yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it because I'm thinking to something that I think will make a lot of sense. So let's imagine that I have a number of quests, okay, inside the Keen Edge or whatever, the Sword Masters organization, okay? And in the Sword Master organization, I'm starting to do the quests, and at a certain point, I start to discover some information about them, right? I don't know. For example, there is a secret place where they meet, right? There is a secret place where they meet, and I learn about it. Or I learn that they have a pretty big hate for another organization or for someone that is against them, and I learned that piece of information as well, okay, which is kind of a part of a quest, but is a significant piece of knowledge of that faction that I learned, right? I think it would be nice if the quest would enable a lore item, right? A lore item for that faction, right? And that lore item is then going into my compendium. I think we can do it like this, and I think it will be interesting, and it will be different than this screen, which is a pure okay, what benefits they're getting me, what is my progression on that faction, and such. And so maybe we can have in the screen also something like you know, open your skills window to see the current standing with this faction, right? Or maybe we can also put here at the bottom, you know, we can put it automatically. I can read the same information, and I can put here maybe not all of this, which is maybe too much divided by levels, but I can just put the current level, you know? Yeah, maybe the current level will be nice. So we can have your current standing. So we can have the current standing, and then maybe we can say open the skill window to see more details, right? Something like that. To see the details of your progression or something like that. I don't know. I will put a small eye icon next to it, you know, and the small eye icon will just say we just pop up this, you know. So the small eye icon will just pop up this thing. So we don't put text, you know, in a random. I mean, we don't put text that is just cluttering the thing, right? We will put your current standing, I don't know, whatever it is. There will be the name, and the name would be like adapt, right? And we will color it maybe green or green or red in case it's positive or negative. So the same thing that we do here. If it's blue, here is positive. If it's red, I mean, now there is no red, but you will have a negative number and a red thing. So I think we can have at the bottom this one, and then here we will have the different pieces of knowledge, right? Here we will have the different pieces of knowledge that you learn about that faction. So I think we'll be structured similarly to the other screen. So just having, you know, a kind of a split here between the list. So this will be the list of all the factions, and here you will have, well, for sure a generic description, but I would like these pieces to be known only when you meet the faction, right? Yes, and I think that the difference is that while this one is showing only the faction for which you actually have a standing, right? This one will show also the faction for which you don't have a standing, but you learned about them, right? Because maybe you spoke with a guy that is aware of that faction, and so the basic description will appear here at the top, right? So there will be like purpose, you know, purpose or beliefs. Then for sure will be organization, notable people, lore, but organization will be there because you know, certain associations are organized certain way, others are organized differently. Right? Purpose, belief, organization. So basically, these things are all things that you can unlock in the game, right? And obviously, there will be achievements then to unlock these pieces, right? Because I can make an achievement of like unlocked 10 factions knowledge, right? Something like that. So it will be a mini game in the game, right? To just collect this kind of information, and also will give you more background about the different factions, right? So and remember that what I'm trying to achieve with this is a bit of a deepness in the setting, right? So I think that one of the main differences between what we would like plane shift to be, and now probably is not today, but what we would like it to be, and just a normal MMO that you find you know, anywhere, is the deepness of the setting, of the history, of the lore, and you know, and everything that is on the background, which usually in MMO is so. I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really not that good. But I think it gives a lot more immersion, you know, to the player when he knows that things are, I mean, the things have a purpose on, right? So I think we will do it this way, and then we will have this eye icon, which is kind of telling you, you know, to open the skill window. And then we can have achievements, like I said, connected to this. But we will have achievements connected to everything anyway, also for the creatures, also for the plants, also for the minerals, like discover X minerals, discovered X plants, discovered, you know, X locations. So we will have achievements for basically everything. So I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think that is good. I think I have a good understanding. At the beginning, I was a bit scared that it was a full duplication of the other, but now thinking about it and brainstorming about it, I think I have a much better understanding of what I want to have. And I think it will still be interesting and make sense. Will not be super useful in game. I mean, this thing will not be super useful. Huh? This thing is mostly lore and background and stories, right? So, but still, you know, the point is that, do we want to divide this by area or city? That I don't know. So I don't know if the factions are transversal to the locations, or if you want to have a filter by location, but at the moment they are transversal. So like the Sword Master, whatever, you know, may have some members in Oja or in Gug in the same way. Okay, so it's not based on the location. That is how it is today, at least. Okay, so I think that's for the fact. Do we need to put anything else here? Do we need to put any other piece of information? No, I don't think so. I don't know what I will do with the location. If the location is also when you reach them, or if it is also something that you unlock in the, I don't know. Because then one thing that I will have to do for each of these screens will be to say, what do I need to do in terms of structures in Unreal, right? Because then that will become the things to do. So So do I need to add, you know, new data tables? But I don't think we can do it with data tables. I think we'll be all in the database, because I don't think I want to have here on the client any kind of information that can be extracted by the player, right? So I think we have to work in a kind of a cache, you know, cache mechanism, so that I send you the ID and the description, I cache the description on the local disk, and then the next time I only send the ID, which I think is the best. And then if you clean your disk, whatever, I have anyway all the IDs, and so I'm sending you again all the descriptions. So something like that, right? And then we will need to understand which kind of screens we need, right? Which kind of screens we needed to have that done. But I think they will be very similar. So the database structure will be very similar between the screen. I think the only one that is very different is the locations and people. That one is kind of his own project into the project, and I think if anyone wants to do that, there would be a good sub project for anyone that wants to help me. That can be done, you know, completely separately, because it's just a kind of a map management. I don't know if there is already a map management kind of thing on Unreal, but there are some mini-map tutorials, but I don't know. I mean, it's not exactly a mini-map, but the concept is pretty much the same. So the concept is that we have a map that we can interact with. They can be expanded. They can have sub-maps. A map that can have markers that we can click, and it can be associated, you know, to other information. So I don't know exactly what this guy is doing, but I can check if there is any. Nah, this guy is just doing the super basic of it. Okay, so it's not really useful, I guess. Yeah, just having the player move on it, which is not what we want. I mean, we don't care about the player moving on the map. Also because it's completely out of RP. But yeah, we'll have to check if there is something already done. Maybe we will reuse it. But I think our concept is a bit different than the typical mini-map, so I don't even know how to ask for it to Google, right? Okay, so this will be the factions. And then the last one that we need is the rare and special items. And then also the main story, but the main story, I don't know. The rare and special items. Let me just check one thing. Of the list that we flagged here as to be done, right? Why is not doing the thing that it's doing usually? No idea. Because it's a brush. Okay, because it's a brush. Let me just do a double check here. Main plot, main mission, faction, organization, plants, mineral, playable races, pets, rare items, crafting and relevant people, NPC, magic basic concept explanation. This one I don't really know. Religion, location, landmark, and city. Religion. But I think the religion can go under factions, no? Under factions and organizations. I think that probably will be the best way. Yeah. Or under people. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Religion, I don't know now. But anyway, yes, we are covering pretty much, you know, what we decided to put in. The collectibles will be very nice, but the collectibles will be pretty nice to have. Okay, let's try to do the rare items. Let's try to see what we want to have on the rare items. Rare items. So rare items. Rare items. The problem is where and why and when to trigger that. So what is defining an item as a rare item? Right? How did I call it? Rare and special item. Rare and special items. So what is defining an item in our game as a rare and special item? I think we have certain modifiers of weapons and other stuff which are considered rare. So we basically have in our looting system, we have a loot generator, right? We have a loot generator which is taken from this database table, which is loot rules and loot details and loot modifiers and all of that, which is basically generating for certain objects, not all of them, but for certain objects, a prefix, an adjective, and a suffix, right? So you can have the eagle's short sword, the eagle ancient short sword of the defender, right? So you can have the eagles, we said what? Reinforced short sword of the defender, right? Now this thing is made, as you have seen, this thing is made of 4 pieces, right? Where the short sword is the basic item and everything else is generated, right? And it works already like this in game today. And each one of those modifiers has a specific characteristic in the game, okay? So it's changing strength, or well, these are the requirements, but it may have requirements, it may change stats, and such. So the question is, do we want, whenever you discover, I mean, is it interesting as a player, whenever you discover or find one of those items, to actually put it in this list or not? One question I have is, when we generate I mean, can you see that information? Can you see that information on the description of the item or not? Do I have an item with a modifier? I think I don't have on me an item with a modifier, unfortunately. Well, I have this one, which is platinum. No, but the platinum is a basic item. I think I need to go and kill some do you think that rogues are dropping generated loot? I killed it. No items to be looted? Holy shit, really? Okay. I got a short sword, but... I wanted to see... Sorry, I'm killing all the NPC, I know. I don't have a better way. Knife and leather cap. I think these ones are too basic to generate anything useful. So I think that we need to go... They drop dagger and helm, but are they randomized? Are randomized in terms of modifiers or not? So now I can try to go to the onyx daggers. I think the onyx daggers are definitely strong. And maybe this guy is doing something. He gave me a potion of healing. Fuck it. Which is nice. No, I need someone with generated loot. I think these guys do it. Maybe the percentage is not very high. They're always giving me potion of healing. No, I'm not saying the same item. I'm saying eagles reinforce shoulders of the defender, okay? So generated items like this. So is the dagger, for example, is the dagger randomized on them? I don't remember. I don't remember which one. I can go and search it, but it will take me some time. I prefer to... My god, this thing are super small. Ah, there is a crystal. I think I'm stuck between... I think I'm stuck... Okay. You understand the question? The question is if these guys are dropping... If these guys are dropping randomized loot, okay? Who are you? No, this one I cannot kill. I mean, there is a percentage, so... Like now I have Mercenary Helm and Battle Helm, okay? But they have not been randomized. Yeah, but I can kill them. I know, but I can kill them. I can kill them with one command, which is better. But they give you randomized stuff. Okay. If they give you randomized stuff, then I can try to kill a few. Fuck, they're always giving me the same stuff. Is this guy giving randomized stuff? Hello. Boom. Dead. Grand old rib. No, the grand old is not giving me much stuff. Hello, man. There are many. Maybe one will spawn something useful. Mercenary Helm. No, they're giving that bait. But I think the percentage is low, so that's the point. That it is how they have been designed, you know, that they should not give you randomized rare items often, so they should give you rare items only. Oh, I found one. Okay. Bones Dagger of the Warrior. Perfect. Okay, the Bones Dagger of the Warrior. Finally, I found one, okay? So the Bones Dagger of the Warrior, which I hope I looted and is somewhere in my chest now. Come on, where is it? I looted it for sure. I clicked on loot. Where is it? Is here, is in this sack. Okay. Easy. Okay, the Bones Dagger of the Warrior, right, which have been generated. He has 2 modifiers, right? He has 2 modifiers. The question that I had was, if I right click on it, can you see this item is magical or a special property, needs to be identified? Ah, yes, I remember. We added the identification thingy. Okay. How do you identify it? You give it to an NPC. Or do you identify it with a spell? Identify it with a spell? Identify it with a spell, huh? I don't remember. I did it so long time ago that I don't remember. You identified with a spell, Tony? You cast a spell, eh? Okay. You cast a spell. So I can put this guy in my hand, I guess. You need a lot more agility. What? I need a lot more agility. Okay. Okay, nice. What do you mean I don't know a spell called Identify? What is the name of the spell? Is Diomer Detection, if I remember right? Is Diomer Detection? You remember the name of the spell? Fuck. I don't know how to spell it. I don't remember the spelling of that. In theory, I should be able to cast it even if I don't know it. Because I'm a GM. As a GM, I think you can cast any spell no matter what. I just need to type it right. Rules. 1 second, I'm looking on the other screen. Spells. I think it will be Blue Way, right? Diomer. Yeah, I think I type it right. No. I type it wrong. You start with a E. You must select a target. I have it in my hand. Do I have to put it on the ground? Really? It's super risky. I don't want to put it on the ground. Someone will steal it from me. Okay, you start to cast the Diomer Detection. Blank! You have gained 4 practice points in Blue Way. Ha ha ha! Making experience. Easy. Did it work or not? This item is special. Fuck, it didn't work. You are unable to identify. No, why you are unable? I'm too... I will do it again. You are unable to identify because my Blue Way is too low. Okay. Blue Way. Blue Way. 200. Easy. Can I identify this thing? Blum, 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 blum. Fuck, you're unable to identify. Why is telling me... Why is telling me that I cannot? Why is telling me that I cannot identify this item in any possible way? The Homer detection is the less powerful version. Ah, there is analyze. Nice. Analyze the Homer. Okay, maybe because it is too powerful. Analyze. Nice. Ah, it's identified. Yes. Did I get some experience for it as well? No, I didn't. Okay, but I identified it. I'm so happy I did it. Attack delay 1.5, damage 0.9, endurance 20, attack modifier. Yeah, he's telling you everything. Holy shit. He's telling you everything, huh? Including the rarity of the weapon. 0.05%. Holy shit. I want to sell it now. Very nice. Very nice. I like this weapon. So basically the question is, do we want to show this information in the rare items? And if yes, what do you want to show? I mean, good night, Tony. Yeah, we'll have to go as well very soon. I would say now as well. But no, the question is, in the rare and special items, how do we want to do it? Do we want to make a list of all the items that I ever found in my life? Or do I want to make a list only of the items that I own? I think it would be nice, you know, to have a list of the items that you actually found. I mean, not the ones that you bought from someone, or the item that someone gave you, but actually the ones that you looted from an enemy, right? I think it would be nicer, because otherwise, you know, I just ask someone else to give me his dagger for a second, and he's going into my rare and special items section of the game, you know, which is, I don't know, so. I don't think I like it too much. I think I like more that I killed the NPC, I found this item myself, and then it's shown in this window, right? And even if I sell it, I think it can stay. If it's a very rare item, I think it can stay. The point is, this the purpose of this window or not? So what we want to put in this window, boys? What we want to put in this window? What do we want to put in this window? Do we want to put this? Or do we want to put something else? I don't know. Rare and special items. Did we wrote down anything? Rare item, identify with NPC. You have tons of item drops, and what they do is more interesting. yes, you have tons of item drop, but maybe we can do it, you know, we can have a kind of a threshold that defines the rarity. Or we can have it so that the player can select the item and say if he wants to put it in the gallery. Because, you know, at the moment, this can be just a list, okay? This can be just a list, right? But maybe in the future, it can be a showcase, you know? It can be a 3D showcase of all the weapons, and you can look at them, right? So a showcase more like this in the what we have here in the bottom, this thing, right? More of a showcase. But I don't know, I'm kind of mixed if this one is something I want to have or not. I'm a bit confused at the moment. I don't know. Also, I think I need to go to bed. But we need to think on this one. Eh? We need to think on this one and think what we want to have. What we want to have in this screen. Because at the moment it's not very clear to me what we want to have here. If it's a display of all the weapons that you found. If it's a display of all the armors that you found, I don't know. Or if it's only items that have been flagged by the game somehow. Because one way to do it, you know, very easy for me, will be this. We take rarity, right? It says rarity, very rare, 0.05%. So we can just do a check on this number, right? And right, so we can do a check on this item and say if he has a rarity less than 0.05%, then is going into this list, right? And that would be very easy because we have that information already. So for me, it will be super easy. The problem is if that item is getting sold, if that item is sold, it will not exist in the game anymore. But that's another problem to solve. First, let's try to understand what we want to have in this window. Okay, guys, it's a bit late. I think I will go. We will think to this, but I think we made very good progress. So just to summarize, we basically created some ideas on all the different screens that we want to have in the compendium. So we fixed the creatures, the plants, and the minerals. We got an idea about the location and the people. We got an idea about the factions, and now the only one that is missing is the rare and special items. Okay, which we may also avoid for now. So we may also gray it out and just do the other three. I think the other three are already a lot. Is already a lot, right? To do if you want to do it. Okay, if you are new to the stream, please click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. That will help me. Thank you if you like what you see. And also you can check our Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift, where you can join the 35 people that are supporting us and grow this number. We have a goal to reach 40. So if you want to do it, nice. If you don't want to do it, don't worry, it's no problem. We will make the game anyway. Yeah, so thanks for watching. See you hopefully tomorrow. I don't know if tomorrow I will stream, but I will try. So thanks for now. And see you soon. Bye-bye.